Welcome back, Truth Seeker. In Australia, it's Wednesday, March 13th, 2019, and in that nation, Cardinal George Pell has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for child sex abuse. And this is interesting because it's the 6 year anniversary of Pope Francis becoming Pope, which was March 13th, 2013. He became the 266th Pope that day. Also interesting is that Cardinal George Pell was ordained in the Catholic Church in the year 66. 6 year sentence, 6 year anniversary of Pope Francis, ordained in 66. In Gematria, number of the beast equals 66. So does number of a man. Of course, those are the words in Revelation 13:18 about the number of the beast 666. That verse is a tribute to Greek isopsephy, which is the practice of coding numbers into words, just like the practice is called Gematria in Hebrew. Of course, the Bible is written in Hebrew, Aramaic, and the New Testament written in Greek. So here's the reporting. Cardinal George Pell, the most senior Vatican official to be convicted of sex abuse to date, has been sentenced to 6 years in prison for the callous assault of two choir boys in the late 90s. A former senior advisor to Pope Francis, Pell showed no reaction when Chief Judge Peter Kidd, interesting name in light of child sex abuse, handed down his sentence in a hearing broadcast live worldwide on Wednesday from Victoria's County Court in central Melbourne. Pell, 77, was found guilty of 1 count of sexual penetration of a child and 4 counts of committing an indecent act with a child last December after a secret 5-week trial. By the way, secret society in Gematria sums to 77 in light of that secret trial. Court also equals 77. Reporting of the trial and verdict was suppressed by the court to avoid prejudicing a second trial, which Crown prosecutors abandoned in February after the judge ruled some prosecution evidence couldn't be submitted. So let's look at what's really going on here. Again, Pope Francis became Pope March 13th, 2013. He became the 266th Pope. The focus here is child sexual abuse, which happens to sum to 266 in Gematria. And the interesting thing about Pope Francis becoming the 266th Pope on March 13th, 13, if you write that date 3/13/13, March the third month, 3 is the second prime number, 13 is the sixth prime number. So 3/13/13 is 266. From Pope Francis's 82nd birthday to this sentence of 6 years, it comes 86 days after his birthday. Very interesting because sexual assault sums to 86. And let me remind you of what just happened in the United States. Keep in mind, Pope Francis is the first publicly Jesuit pope. That's the secret society within the Catholic Church, the Jesuits. The full name is the Society of Jesus. Here in the United States, on the very Catholic Supreme Court, we had the Catholic man Brett Kavanaugh have a public testimony on September 27th, which is the Jesuit order's birthday. September 27th, he had a woman come out, Christine Blasey Ford, and accuse him of sexual assault. That was on the Jesuit order's birthday. Again, this Catholic man. And they ended up confirming Kavanaugh as the Supreme Court Justice on October 6th, which was comical because that's the day in history that Anita Hill came out and accused Clarence Thomas of sexual assault. On this very day, October 6th, Anita Hill accused Clarence Thomas of sexual assault. Why would they wait until October 6th on the weekend to confirm Brett Kavanaugh who was accused of sexual assault himself and who was publicly humiliated on the Jesuit order's birthday. Notice October 6th leaves 86 days left in the year. Kavanaugh equals 86, sexual assault 86, Anita Hill 86, Thomas 86. Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court, a ritual around this number, and now here it is again. From the Jesuit Pope's birthday to this story of this high-ranking cardinal being sentenced to 6 years in prison on the 6-year anniversary of Pope Francis, 86 days after his birthday. What are the odds? What are the odds? Notice the 12 weeks and 2 days, Pope Francis equals 122. Remember on Pope Francis's 82nd birthday, the Saints became the first team to get to 12-2 in the NFL. Saints equals 82. So many things are synced up with Pope Francis, who's a symbol up at the top of the pyramid in this New World Order scheme. Notice also the 2 months and 24 days. On February 24th, Pope Francis just came out and said, these people who are guilty of sexual assault are agents of Satan. And Satan equals 55. February 24th is the 55th day of the year. The word cardinal also equals 55. 224 also looks a bit like 224. The divisors of 84 sum to 224. That matters because Jesuit equals 84. So anyway, 86 days after his birthday, his cardinal goes down for sexual assault of children. Notice George Pell, his birthday is June 8th. The majority of the world writes that date 8/6. Like 86, 8/6. And I couldn't help but notice his title, Cardinal George Pell, 322. Abrahamic religions equals 322. That's Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Ancient mystery religions, 322. That includes Kabbalah. Genesis 3:22 writes about the tree of life, which comes from Kabbalah. The verses for Genesis 3:22 in the New International Version and the King James Version sum to 322 in Gematria, and not by accident. Again, this code is very much biblical. Everything the New World Order does, including the Catholic Church, is by this code. It's all symbolism, it's all ritual. Ancient mystery religions also has Gematria of 133. Reminiscent of the date, March 13th, 13/3. Again, this practice of doing things by numbers, letters, words, dates in the calendar year comes from Kabbalah, which is part of the ancient mystery religions, along with Hermeticism and alchemy and Kundalini. While this is happening in Australia on March 13th, much of the world is still on March 12th. March 12th is the 71st day of the year. Catholic is 71. Here I am in the US, it's still March 12th here. As for March 13th, 2019, where it's happening for George Pell locally, March 13th, 2019 has 55 and 35 numerology. Cardinal has Gematria of 35 like Catholic. Remember, the only Catholic president in the U.S. was JFK, number 35. Cardinal and Catholic, both 35. When you flip the alphabetic order around, Cardinal's also 55. The Cardinal going down on this day, on the 6-year anniversary of Pope Francis. Do you think this is a fall guy for Pope Francis? I imagine he is. He might be guilty himself, but I have no doubt Pope Francis is guilty of these same crimes. No doubt about it. So again, on February 24th, Pope calls abusive clergy tools of Satan. That was on the 55th day of the year, February 24th. Satan 55. Satan also 10. God is 55 and 10. When you add 1 through 10 together, it equals 55. 55 is the 10th Fibonacci number. Marilyn Manson, who was raised Catholic, has the song Say 10. The word say in the number 10. Say 10. And the chorus of his song is, when you say God, I say Satan. So here it is right here. You think Marilyn Manson knows about this code? Obviously. And so does the Catholic Church. Again, every single thing Pope Francis does is by this code. Everything. On February 24th, the day that he made these remarks about Satan, it was reported that there were 190 Catholic leaders in attendance and 114 bishops from around the world. And why did they report these numbers? Synagogue of Satan equals 190. Synagogue equals 114. And who really runs the Catholic Church? It's not a secret. Who established the Jesuits? St. Francis or St. Ignatius of Loyola. St. Ignatius of Loyola, by the way, died 84 days from his own birthday. Jesuit equals 84 again. Ignatius was a false Jew. That's who St. Ignatius of Loyola was. That's who the Jesuits are. That's who runs the Catholic Church. That's who runs the world of religion. Again, all of the major religions of the world are based in Judaism. All of this stuff should be transparent to everyone. The Abrahamic religions are all based in the Old Testament, the Jewish book. This code of doing things this way comes from Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah. In the Talmud, men are permitted to have sex with young boys. How do you think this practice got so rampant in the Catholic Church? It's not hard to see. This is basic arithmetic. This is 1 + 1 = 2. By the way, in the New International Version of the Bible, there's 47 mentions of Satan. 47 mentions of Satan in the New International Version of the Bible. 14 in the Old Testament. 33 in the New Testament. Fallen angels, 33. But with regards to 47, the word beast equals 47. Number of the beast, 666, where we began. 6-year anniversary of Pope Francis. 6 years in prison. He was ordained in 66. Vatican and Francis are both 47. So is Christian. What's the Christian belief? You got to be saved. Saved, 47. For one last point, we talked about how this is going down on a date with 35 numerology. 35 and 55. Satan has that Gematria 35 like Baphomet, like Catholic as well. And again, that's why you want to know your 4 base ciphers. With the alphabetic order, Satan's 55. With the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, Satan's 10. With the reverse alphabetic order, Satan is 80. And with the reverse alphabetic order and rules of numerology, Satan is 35. When you turn the alphabetic order around, God is 55. And with the rules of numerology, 10. In Hebrew, the 4-letter name of God sums to 26. That's why you have the 26-letter English alphabet. The word letter is 26. The word spell is 26. And this language is used for spell casting. I think it has something to do with the masses being asleep, not seeing the obvious. So anyway, please do share this video. If you're new here, if you've never seen my work before, which is unlikely since I'm being ghost banned, I'm on my 18th channel and not many people are seeing any of my videos despite having over 50,000 subscribers. If you are new here, do yourself a favor, read the reviews to my book. It's nearly 800 pages. It's only $5. Everyone who speaks English deserves this knowledge. You learn this code, you see through what's really going on in this world, from the Catholic Church to world governments, propaganda, rigged sports. So many things are orchestrated by this code. Until next time, Truth Seeker.